Not like.
Black Friday was just a few days off. And during that same time, in India, there's a festival called Diwali. Some of you may know. I was planning to visit back home, and I thought I'll give some of my friends a call and ask them if they need anything from here. Something as a souvenir, or something they don't get back in India, some kind of food, or something that would have been more expensive back there. But obviously, I did not expect them to actually ask for something. It was going to be such a bother, like having to pack the thing, getting it through security, and actually getting it to India to them without breaking it, spilling it, or eating something if it was food. I get hungry, dude. What? But a friend of mine, let's name him something generically Indian like Rohan, asked me if there was a sale on the Bamboo Labs website. He wanted the A1 Mini from their website. He wanted to get into 3D printing. He had used a few 3D printers back in university, but he never had one of his own, so he wanted one. And I checked, and there was a pretty big sale. It's usually $400, but it was $250. It was still $250 for some reason. Oh well. And since I was the one who offered to get it, I thought I'll actually get it since he asked me. I thought it's a small 3D printer. Like, I checked the dimensions on the website. It seemed small. It has to fit into some of my suitcase. I have bigger luggages. It should be able to fit in one of those. It arrived to my house, and that box sat in my room for 6 weeks. I had 6 weeks to check if that box fit into my suitcase. Guess when did I check? 2 hours before leaving for the airport. I called him, panicked, and told him, "Hey dude, I tried fitting the box in the suitcase. It doesn't fit. I tried taking it out, fitting it without the box, just the printer. It wouldn't fit. It could break and blah 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 blah. Sorry bro, I can't get it." And then I just before he could say hey, but did you try this, blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm getting late, I need to leave, sorry, bye. And basically he had to get the printer from India. He paid a little bit more, but I don't think he regrets it. He made some 3D prints and started selling it. He made his money back in like 2 months. But when I came back to my house, I still had a 3D printer sitting in my room. Well, I checked if I could return it, but I was a little too late. Let's say 1/4 of the year too late. Well, now I had two options. Either I could sell it on Facebook Marketplace, or I could try 3D printing for the first time. And this is a story of how I dabbled into a new hobby, made some horrible 3D prints without knowing anything about a 3D printer. And in this video's comment section, you get to tell me how many mistakes I made. So enjoy the video. While moving to a new place, I got these big plastic IKEA boxes. They were helpful in moving, but also I was going to use them for storage. I decided once my bed comes in, I'll store these under the bed, and that'll be great storage. I did not think that the boxes were that tall, and I thought the bed would be at least that tall that this fits in, or if not, I'll at max have to lift it a bit and then push it in. But well, that didn't happen. So I decided my first 3D print, except for the benchy, would be bed legs. Mind you, I only have PLA and PLA carbon fiber, and I did not have the hardened steel nozzle yet to use the PLA carbon fiber. I did not know if it could hold the weight of a whole human, or maybe two. Who am I kidding? Well, anyway, I took out my calipers and started taking the measurements, and the modeling was going to be done in Fusion 360. I decided to learn this because it's used for more precise modeling rather than Blender is like for art. I don't know. Somebody on the internet told me to use this, and that's what I did. And in the process, I learned something new. It was a bit hard to learn. It was a whole new way of modeling things. It's pretty different from Blender. You have to first set the constraints and then make the shapes, which is kind of new to me, but I got used to it pretty quick, at least for basic shapes. The measurements I took were used for the base, and then I made a 523, I don't remember, but 523 mm thick of a wall outside those measurements. And for the height, I wasn't sure, but I was like, oh, let's lift it up like 6 inches. That should be enough. It always is. It always is. But I guess it was a little bit too much this time. It sometimes is. You can't help it. I know that the sun is setting while I record this, but I can't help this. I'm enough lazy already. I was so smart that I decided to print the whole thing. Like, I didn't know that I didn't think of it yet that I could print just a few layers, take it off, and then see if it fits, and then make the whole thing. I made the whole thing. It was so much plastic. I wasted all of it because it was too tall, and I was scared that it'll break, or like it was just not stable enough. So, and also it didn't fit. It didn't fit the leg. See, the problem was the bed legs are wooden and all of the legs have slightly different measurements because wood is not that precise. So what I needed to do was take measurements for all 4 of them. No, fuck it. I didn't do that. I just made all the sides big enough so that all 4 of them fit, and I printed 4 of those. I did not want to waste more time on this. This was not the most challenging thing. It was just a measurement error and I didn't want to do it. But guess what? It's been 3 months. It's working great. I've jumped on this bed. I've stood up on this bed to fix lighting. This bed, these bed legs have gone through enough. I've dropped the bed on the leg, but hey, finally, I just need to pick up the bed a little bit and then shove the boxes in, and it works. It works great. I don't have any complaints with it. Hi, just a quick update. So if you see there, that bed leg is not there, and these are. So what happened was I printed one which not the exact dimensions. So what I did was like I just chopped off these corner pieces because this was not the right dimension, but these were. Like, this was fine, only this thing was not the right thing. But anyways, so what happened was I just chopped off these things and I had it there, out of the way, out of the mind, out of the sight, out of the mind. I think that's what the saying is. But anyways, the point is, it was there and I kept moving it around. I kept moving the bed. Sometimes I would just jump on the bed and it would move. And when I had to take out these boxes, it would move. But after doing that a lot of times, this thing cracked because I had like chopped it off. So this bond on this layer had basically, you see how clean it is? It's because like this was the Z-axis and this is how the pressure was hitting it, and it basically broke it. So I am printing another one right now. Next level was an IKEA pegboard hook. Seems easier than the bed legs, you would say, but it actually isn't if you really try to make a really good hook. I knew somebody on the internet must have made it already because I got the same IKEA pegboard as the one that everybody and their mother have. But my big ego wouldn't allow me to do it, and I'm doing this whole thing to learn the process. So it wouldn't help if I just download something and print it. This time I needed to be a lot more precise with the measurements. So I took my calipers and measured the inside of the pegboard holes, the total thickness of the whole pegboard, how much space the pegboard holes have vertically, because basically I needed the tail of the hook to go inside of the hole and then pull down on it to actually lock the hook in place. When it comes to modeling the hook, it seemed pretty easy. I just had to make a few lines, round the corners off, and make a cylinder out of it. The modeling was pretty simple, but it still took me a few tries. I was only going to hang hats on this, but if in case I ever want to use this model to hang something heavier, I would want it to be strong too. So there was a certain orientation that I needed to print it. The base is the X and Y axis, and as it gains height, it goes in the Z axis. Now, if there's any perpendicular force to the Z axis, there's a higher chance of breakage. I had to print it in a way so that the force is always parallel to the Z axis. When the first hook was done, I was pretty positive. I took it out, I hung it on the pegboard, but it was a bit too loose. I left too much gap between the tail of the hook and the front of the hook, so it did not really grab on to the pegboard as tight as I needed to. But the plastic was still hot. I tried bending it, I tried crimping it with my hands, and then put it back onto the pegboard. It kind of works, but still, maybe once it cools down, maybe it doesn't work. But hey, my roommate used it to hanger keys. So I went back to the modeling. I reduced the distance between the tail and the front of the hook by 0.5 millimeters and printed one again, tested it, worked out great, printed 3 more all together this time using the duplicate function on the Bamboo Lab splicer software thingy. I don't know what you actually call it. Is it slicer? I don't know, bro. Hey, it works now. I have the hats hung right over here, and you can see I use those hats every day, and I sometimes grab them and put them back on those hooks with a lot of force, like and then they still haven't broken. So hey, that's a success. By the way, a genuine shout out to this thing. I know I've mentioned this already and what it does, but dude, the last time I used this thing, I was in 11th grade and I was doing a practical for my physics lab. I remember specifically an experiment where I was thinking, I'm never going to use this thing. Like, why did it, like, it was a metal one, not an electrical one. So I had to measure it like by hand, and like sometimes the measurements were off. So I also had to write down that the measurement might be off by like some millimeters and stuff. And I was like, I'm never going to use this in my life. Stay in school, kids. You never know. Like, this is like, yes, if they had the electrical ones, that like these ones, it would have been great, but you never know. You just never know. I love this thing. I measure everything with this now. Yeah, it's been a while since I recorded the last voiceover and things keep changing, okay? Sometimes it's a day, the whole fucking world is a window. Get over it. After all those hook shenanigans, I realized I also have a MacBook. So the problem is that I don't really leave my house, which is a problem in itself. But the problem that came from that is, since I don't leave my house that much, I mostly use my PC, which I also use for my work, my editing, streaming, gaming, everything, which is good because the PC is good at it, but I have a MacBook. And it's better at the job that I do. I have a lot of plugins that are macOS specific, some apps that I really like on macOS, and I really want to use them. So I figured if I just connect my monitors, my keyboard, and mouse/trackpad, which didn't end up working because I bought it from Facebook Marketplace, that is a whole different thing, then I will be able to use my MacBook for my work at least. And that does create a good separation, because when I'm sometimes like working and there's like Steam right there, I just go, I don't play anything, to be clear. I just open the store page and look for discounts. It's a different kind of procrastination, okay? Just, I want to make a laptop stand. Like, I don't want this open on my desk because I don't. Oh! What I needed right now was a laptop stand, which I don't want to keep on my desk because there's no space. I want it to be a stand that holds my laptop in a clamshell position and still gives me access to all the ports and everything, so I can connect it, disconnect it, and it's easy to like take out the cables and just take the MacBook out and put it in my bag. So I looked at a few designs online, the ones that you usually find on like Amazon. Like, I could have easily bought something for like $15, $20. It's like, I have a 3D printer. Why even spend those $15 instead of being just a on table thing, because it still takes up space on my table, and just hold my laptop in like a vertical position, or even like a desk shelf that people have under which they put their laptop. I just didn't want anything on my desk because there's already a lot. So I thought, what if we make another hook? Stay with me, but this hook is bigger. I know. The basic thing that I want to be able to do is this should fit my desk, just slot into the desk, and this should hold my laptop. And I want it to tilt so that my laptop sits like this. If it sits like this, it'll put pressure on here, which can break. So we don't want that. If this breaks, then my laptop falls. It's gonna put more pressure over here and it can break. If my laptop's sitting slanted like this, it's gonna put pressure here directly instead of here. So this is not gonna break. And here, there's nothing to break. It's gonna put pressure here when the laptop sits. There's gonna be pressure here and here. So I have to make sure this doesn't slide off. All right, that's all I have to make sure. So I'll just make it long. And I also, like, it's still plastic, and the MacBook is aluminum, I think. Aluminum. It's still plastic or aluminum, so it would not scratch it, but just to like be sure, I would leave a little bit of gap so I can smoothly just slide in my laptop and take it out. And I just needed to make sure that I have this dongle on my laptop. So this dongle needed to so my laptop needed to sit like this so that my dongle wouldn't be in the way. And there's also the ports are on the backside of the laptop. So again, I just need to make sure that my laptop has space to sit like that. But in a hook design, I think it's pretty open to different orientations. So I don't think that'll be a problem. I made the basic model and sent it to print. But this time, I was smart. You see, we are learning from our mistakes. I just printed a few layers, like 3, 4, 5, I don't remember exactly. I just printed those few layers, took those layers off, checked if it fit my table, which it did flawlessly. Sometimes I'm amazed at the things that work out in the first go. I decided to check if it fits my laptop, which it did, but I also wanted to check if it can hold my laptop. So I just held the clamp side of the stand really hard and tried and balanced my $2,000 laptop on 3 layers of PLA plastic that was bending. And guess what? It fucking worked. It worked. It was holding it. Just 3 layers of plastic was holding this, whatever, like, I don't know, 0.9 kilograms of laptop. I don't know how much this is. I was pretty damn amazed. So this one was probably the easiest one. I just sent to print 2 of those together. It got done. And again, I made sure that it was printed in a way so that it didn't need any supports. It worked out. I had a laptop stand. It was the easiest one and the most satisfying one. Since then, I've used my laptop so much more during my workday, and it has made my work life so much better. So yeah, that was a pretty easy level 3, huh? If this is how it's going to go, the next one seems like it'll be a piece of cake. For sure. For sure. I knew this was going to be difficult, and if anything went wrong, the risk was way higher, but this was a good idea, at least in my head. So the plan was, before I had this low profile microphone arm, this is like, it stays low, I have more maneuverability around it. Holy shit, I actually said that in one go. I can move around this and it's easier to control, and it stays lower, so it doesn't appear in the camera as much, except for just the microphone. I had this microphone arm. This is the one that goes like up and down. I'll show a video. But basically what I thought I could do, I put my iPad on the microphone arm, because basically just beside this table is my bed, and I don't have a TV in my bedroom. And like, really, practically, what do you use your iPad the most for? Watching videos. I could use some Balatro gameplay to fall asleep to, especially the ones from Ruffle. His voice with the Balatro music and the ding 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 sounds when the scoring happens, it's just the perfect combination. It is not weird. I know it sounds weird, it's not. It's totally normal. Just go watch his videos and you'll know. So the plan was, I put this microphone on the side of my bed and devise a method to just stick my iPad on this screw, which I didn't know how yet. So I looked at a few examples. I looked at, there must be some kind of a similar solution, like somebody must have thought about it. And there was this one dude, Flatlander Tech. His videos are amazing. It's cinema. It looks like cinema. And he made a whole chunky ass iPad case with a lot of 3D printing, and like he put in a lot of electronics in it. He made a dock out of it. I wasn't going to do that much. I just needed it to hold my iPad. That's all. But I couldn't find a video where he makes the actual like connection to the mic arm. So I didn't know how he did it. So I thought, okay, I'll just do it myself. I saw this Kyushu iPad stand. It uses magnets. That's what's important. So it like most iPad cases, it just sticks onto the back of your iPad, and that's about it. It has strong magnets. What can I say? So I thought, yeah, magnets. That's cool. So I got magnets. These are pretty small ones, and I thought they'll be enough. Plan was I would make a screw-in part which would screw onto this mic arm, whatever the screw is, 2.5 inch. I don't know. I really don't. Whatever, this 3. So the plan was I would print a back piece which would stick on to the back of the iPad with like super glue or something, and when it would have magnets in it. And I would make a part which screws onto this thing and also has a flat end where there's the same amount of magnets as the one on the back of the iPad, and I would just stick it. That's all. Sounds easy, right? Right. So I kept the modeling simple again, nothing too fancy, just simple shapes. The only thing I had to take care of was that there would only be 1 or 2 layers on top of plastic on top of the magnets, so that it doesn't lose a lot of magnetic strength, if that's the right term. And I would have to stop the print in between. So I would stop the print right as it's going to cover those holes. I would stop the print, put in the magnets, and then continue the print. And it would keep printing on top of the magnets and it would conceal the magnets. Well, one of the shapes was a straight up square plate, which was pretty easy with some cylindrical holes in it. And the other one was also a square plate with just a pyramid on top of it with a screw hole. The screw hole was the hardest part of it. But there's a screw function right in Fusion 360, and you can change the settings according to different screw standard. So that was pretty helpful, honestly. I can see why Fusion 360 is the standard. After making the model and right before sending it to print, I had to make sure that the orientation of the magnets is correct. Because once I put in the magnets, I cannot change. I cannot flip the magnets. So if I put in north and the part which would go on top of it is also north, it wouldn't stick, then I'm done for. It had to be north facing up on one whole part and south facing up on the other part. And I thought 4 would be enough. And that's what I did. I sent it to print. And to do that, I did see someone do a very smart thing. They just labeled the side of the magnets as north and south. That would have been nice, but I didn't have a Sharpie at that time, and I wasn't going to leave my stream on and just go get a Sharpie, and it was also 10 p.m. So I don't think I would get a Sharpie anywhere. After the print was done, I took it off. I tried screwing the back plate on the mic arm. It screwed in perfectly. I mean, perfectly. It was just tight enough to give a sense of security that it wouldn't crumble. And I just had to check if the back plate stuck to it. So I took the back plate. I tried slapping it on the mic arm and it didn't stick. It didn't stick. I panicked. I thought, holy shit, I must have fucked up the orientation. I took out a knife and I started scraping the last 3 layers to get the magnets out, thinking I still have a chance because the plastic was still hot enough that I could bend it. So I started scraping with that small knife and I cut open my thumb. It was a big cut. It started spewing blood right away. I had to run into the bathroom, start washing my finger, wipe away all the blood. And for a second, I thought maybe I should go to the doctor, but it was fine. I wasn't really feeling a pain. It was just a lot of blood was coming out. So it was a clean cut at least, like the knife was sharp. So it didn't hurt. And after all that was done, I came back, sat on my table. I was like, okay, let's at least try and finish the job. And I hurt my other thumb. Thankfully, it just chipped off a little bit of nail. It didn't really cut into anything. So that was good. But I thought I'll lose my digits doing this. So I stopped. And I reconsidered if $2 of plastic is worth a hospital visit or losing a thumb. Well, you know what the worst part about all of this is? It's like the smart people among you must have already figured it out. But the black backplate wasn't really that thick. So if I did put it in the wrong orientation, I could have just flipped the back plate. It's just a plate and it's stuck. When I tell you that I haven't felt this dumb since I shat my pants in 5th grade in school, it's true. Both of the things. And most probably, I didn't mess up the orientation. I just tried putting it on the wrong way. Because I remember doing it the right way. I just panicked and I cut my thumb open. But at least now I can say I spent blood, sweat, not tears, but at least blood and sweat to make this thing, okay? To make this video. So please consider subscribing. And if you want, you can come and watch me on Twitch. The links are down below. Well, anyway, all of this was for naught. I finally tried kind of sticking the backplate onto the iPad with double-sided tape, not super glue yet, because if I do that, it wouldn't come off and the iPad cover would be gone. I would have to order a new one. So I just stick some double-sided tape on it. I tried putting the iPad on the mic arm. It wouldn't hold. 4 magnets were not enough. Nowhere enough. The iPad was way heavier. I absolutely did not take this into consideration. So that whole idea, just the magnets idea, was scrapped. Well, at least I learned something new. What we needed was some kind of leverage, some kind of locking mechanism, or something that holds it into place and does not let gravity get its way with it. So if I make it into a notched design, like maybe it's a circle, not a square, and there's like some kind of locking mechanism where I can just put my iPad on and then rotate it so that it locks in place and gravity could not pull it down. Well, that's cool and all, but I also wanted to rotate the whole thing, but maybe it can rotate on the screws. And there was just so many ifs and buts. And I was like, hey, simplicity is the key. Just make the dumbest fucking thing that comes into your mind first, and it would probably work like it has till now, like it did for the laptop. So I made this notch design. It's a simple thing. The backplate has like a simple notch, and that notched backplate just slots into the mic arm part, and that's pretty much it. So I tried making that design. So modeling by far has been the easiest part in this whole thing. But so I modeled the whole thing, again, made the screw holes and took the dimensions on the back of the iPad. This one I could just, like, for these black backplates and this whole stand thing, I've been eyeballing the measurements because it doesn't really matter. I'm not covering the whole iPad with this, so that's fine. So yeah, basically I just made this particular design, and I was gonna, like, it would work till I don't flip it more than 90 degrees on either side, because then it would just slide off. I had to make sure it's always, I mean, I just needed it in landscape and portrait. And it's not like an iPhone that the speakers are on one side, it's iPad, so there's a speaker on both the sides. I mean, yeah, if I could rotate it 360 degree, that would be cool, but I don't really need to. Like 90 degrees fine to move it from portrait to landscape. So I thought this was going to be enough. Again, I sent it off to printing. I had to check the whole notch thing that goes into it. So I had to print the whole thing. Like I couldn't just print a few layers. So I print the whole thing. I take it off. I just try putting the notch into the mic arm side of it, and it doesn't work. It's too tight. It's way too tight. That's what she said. And at that point, I was also doubting maybe the orientation of the print was wrong, because the way the strands were coming out of the print while pushing the backplate in was also a big reason for the friction. So I had a lot of things to consider at that moment, but I said fuck them to all of it, and I just increased the space on the insides for the mic arm part, and that's pretty much it. That's all I did. I printed it again, and guess what? This time it was fucking smooth. It fitted in like a glove. Not like a glove. There was still a little, I maybe might have put in too much space between it, but it was fine. It wasn't breaking anything. It was smooth to put it in and take it out. That's what she said. And my only worry of it being a little too loose, there was a way that I could still fix it. Remember magnets? So I thought, what if I put magnets on the backplate, just 2 of them, not too much, and 2 in the mic arm side, and it should be fine. Like I just need a little bit of friction, nothing too fancy. So the last edit to this project was making magnet holes in the model and sending them to print. Like, no, I did not I took a drill machine out. I learned nothing from the last time I tried scraping layers off a 3D print and cutting my thumb open. It wasn't even properly healed. I took out a knife and a drill machine and I started drilling holes. The drill could have slipped and punctured my hand, but this is way more entertaining. So I drilled holes into a 3D print, which wasn't going really well. It would slip a lot, but I just held it really tightly because I'm overconfident like that. And after it was done, I super glued some magnets into it, and yeah, that's about it. It kind of worked out. When I'm pushing it in, it slides in properly and doesn't fall downwards now. And when I'm pulling it, there's like an opposing magnetic force. Like it just like pushes it to the top a bit. Like I can't explain it to you, but like if you know how magnets work, then it's pretty sick. But hey, if it worked out, all's well if the end's well. Let's do it like this. This is a 90 degree. It is fine. Oh, I squeezed it. I'm gonna make sure. The fix to all your fucking problems. GG's, it's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. That's how it looks. I mean, okay, not that bad. I can still keep it on my table. This is how it looks. Like it is stuck. I left it for a while. Okay. It wobbles a bit, but if I'm using it like this, it's fine. The wobble, I mean, and like if it's bothering me too much, I can just do this. Now for the moment of truth. Was it all worth it? Am I gonna break my iPad? Here's the thing. I'm gonna slide it in. That's what he said. That's what he said. I'm gonna drop it in. And it fucking stays. It fucking stays. Okay, I can tilt it. Like I can rotate it. It stays. It fucking stays. It's not moving around because there's magnets, the power of magnets. And then finally, can I like use it? Can I tilt it all the way down? So I don't know if you can see it, but the flap is like kind of falling off of the iPad screen. But the only time I'm going to use it like this is when I'm sleeping on the bed and it's going to be on top of my face. So if it falls, the only thing that's going to break is my face. That's fine. It's not that good looking anyways. Holy bro, I can take it off. I can place it back in. Dude, this is actually insane. And that was all the dumb shit I printed. And there's some more. I printed this brain thing for a friend's game. And I later just made it into a fridge magnet. And this is a paper towel holder. I clamp it to one of the kitchen shelves and I put paper towel on it. So yeah, there's some more shit that I printed. These were pretty easy, so I didn't just include it. And it was also after I recorded everything. I have been using this iPad stand to read my script off of, except for this part because I took the thing off to show you, or just kind of hide the thing that it's done or how it looks. But so yeah, I just take off my iPad and put it on like this. So this has been great. I have been using it as to read something, to use it as external display for my Mac, and it also works as a great TV while I sleep and I watch Balatro gameplay. And that's all I watch on this. So that's it, guys. If you like the video, if you want to see me making more dumb stuff, don't forget to subscribe and check out any other videos that I put on. Or you can watch all this happening live if you come to Twitch or just watch my YouTube lives. And I will cut off more fingers in Minecraft. I will maybe in Minecraft.